pleasure to meet you, Sophie.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
So where are you from, Sophie?
I'm from Sydney, Australia.
Sydney?
Yes.
Wow, there's a lot of people from Australia here.
Well, I've brought a team of 10.
So what are you doing tomorrow?
Running 100k.
Can you say that again?
Running 100k.
So why Ironman?
Well, I started out with marathons, and people do events for all different kinds of reasons. Sometimes they're bored at work. Sometimes they need to get fit. Sometimes they're losing a loved one and they want to get something. Sometimes they lack self-confidence. And doing some kinds of events boosts self-esteem and gives them self-confidence. So I start out with marathons, and then I do swim and I do bike. So I decided to try triathlons, and I've done 27 half Ironmans and 5 full marathons.
Because I like adventures, I like trail running, and
So it's an adventure.
yeah.
Why do I like climbing? Mainly for the views.
The views.
Second for the cardio.
Like this, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Cardio?
Yeah. I mean the best way of sport. You don't think that you're actually doing exercise.
I think you do something and you just feel good inside.
Yeah.
There's no specific reason, but at the end you're satisfied and you're happy.
Yeah.
Running for me is that.
Is it
it's
more
fun.
is it more a physical sensation or is it psychological, mental?
I think both.
So that's why I originally got into it, and it kind of just was one of those, I didn't realize the type of personality that I had until I got into the point where I realized that once I crossed one finish line, and I loved that feeling, kind of that testing limits thing, that I had to do the next thing just to see if I would lose or see if I would succeed in that. And through all of the successes and failures, I think all of the lessons that I take for that just pour into personal life. And so I found this inner strength through running, as a mom, as a wife, as a community leader, all those things that I didn't know that I had inside until I started running.
So what it is a lot of mental. I mean, you can take these long days of exercise where you're biking for 6-7 hours and running, and you're just building up endurance. But it is really 90% mental toughness when you get to that stage.
Do you know I discovered running through losing my kids? We decided after they died that we wanted to run a half marathon, my husband and I, and raise the money to provide one humidity crib for the hospital who cared for them. And then I just went from there, and then I realized how much running helped me and kept me, in my darkest times. I found running was my therapy, and even today running makes me feel happy.
I mean, I'm out there for a long time. I was out there for 16 hours, and you're doing a few things. Number one, you're thinking about your life, and number two, you're thanking people because you've gotten where you've gotten from so many different support people. And three, about, can I really do this?
Grit.
Yeah, grit.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just want to enjoy. I just want to soak it all up. I just want to get to the finish line. I know it's going to be so tough. I know it's going to push me to places I've never been before, but I'll also draw inspiration from my own babies. My children were born at 24 weeks gestation, and they lived for 1 hour, 10 days, and 58 days.
Wow.
3 little boys. And when the air gets really thin, and I find it hard to breathe, I'll remember how hard they fought to breathe, and how such enormous efforts were made to save their lives. But for premature babies to survive, they need the very best neonatal equipment. So I'll remember them, and I'm sure that will give me all the inspiration I need to not give up and keep going.
It's just very supportive environment.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
And the best part starts when everyone's suffering.
Okay.
But not in the start, when everyone's like, "Oh, I'm
Happy.
so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so tough. I have done so much training."
Yes.
But after like 60k, they're like, "Oh, it's so tough.
Yes.
It's everywhere."
And that's the real challenge.
Yeah. That's when the
And you like that vibe? It's the compassion of the people helping each other, or?
yeah.
Nice.
Just to feel like, I don't know if this is fun to say, but I like to suffer a bit.
Yeah.
So I like to be out of my comfort zone. So that's what I felt with 80k. And then once is comfortable, I wanna increase something else.
And I like to be exhausted and I like to be hungry. You know, when you are actually like really exhausted, and you don't get that if you just live normal life.
So you like to, I mean, I ask people this question a lot and they say they like to suffer, some of them. Is it the same thing, to be exhausted?
So there is also a theory about this, that we have a too comfortable life.
Yeah.
And like this kind of pain for you have to endure for 25 hours or whatever.
Okay.
I guess it's something like a reminder to, you know, like the more you suffer, the more you enjoy when you don't suffer.
One of the things you'll do in your life that probably one of the things that's will come closest to breaking you, that you actively know that that's going to be the case going into it. Like you know that that's going to push you to your absolute extreme.
When you do the Ironman, it's not like running a race per se. You have to casually look at it as a long day of endurance. Because if you stress out and swim real hard, you still have 112 miles on a bike and then you still have a marathon.
You guys are amazing. Can we be friends?
We're stubborn. Absolutely, we're already friends.
I feel like
If
we're
you're
best
here,
friends.
we're already friends.
Yeah. See? That's why I love this running community.